everyone, welcome back to Let's Talk About It. I'm Juliana, and today we're going to be talking about being patient. And how exactly can we be patient? What does it look like? And also, what does the Bible say towards being patient? Quickly, before we start, I just want to share that I'm just going to share some verses with you that really helped me get through seasons in my life where I had to wait for something to happen, whether it was a job opportunity, whether it was a ministry opportunity, relationship opportunity, anything in my life, honestly. These are the verses that I would go to when it came to being patient and just waiting on God's timing. I know that we hear as Christians, or maybe not even as Christians, we hear a lot the phrases of, God has his timing and everything is perfect in his timing. But I feel that these verses really helped me just be patient in those times. So the first one we're gonna look at is Galatians 6:9. And Galatians 6:9, what it talks about is not getting tired of doing what is good and just being patient, be like waiting. I'm gonna read it for you here. It says, so we must not get tired of doing good, for we will reap at the proper time if we don't give up. I know that for a lot of us that we're waiting on something, that waiting season, the waiting period in our lives can seem like years and years of waiting for the right thing to happen. But I honestly feel that God wants to prepare us for that thing that we're waiting for. He wants to transform the way we think, transform the way we look at things before we achieve that promise, that thing that we're waiting for, whatever it may be. I know for a long time when I was single, I was waiting. I felt like I was in the waiting period or the waiting season for a long time. And now that I'm married, I feel like that waiting, the singleness, the season of being single really helped to just reflect in myself the areas that I needed to work on myself, the areas that I needed to really just sort of like encourage myself in and really dig in deep with God. And I feel like in that waiting season, God can reveal so many things to us, and it doesn't have to necessarily be for a relationship. It can be for a job opportunity. It could be for maybe a new baby, a new member to the family. It could be anything. You're buying a new house, you're moving to a new state, or you're coming back to an old place that you were before. That waiting period, I feel like if we keep doing the right thing, like Galatians says, don't get tired of doing the right thing or the good thing, like praying and fasting and asking God to really reveal himself to you in that waiting period, to say, God, is this what you really want for me? Is this something that will bring me closer to you? Will this relationship bring me apart from you? Or would this job get me too busy to spend time with my family? And just in that waiting period, in that waiting season, don't get tired of doing the good things, like praying and asking God for direction. And then I love that it ends with the promise of that we will reap. There will be a time where we get to see all those things that we did for good, all those things that we prayed about and we fasted on. We're gonna see them come to life in our own lives or in the people that we love. And I think that's one of the biggest verses that has really helped me get through the waiting period or the waiting season. The second is Colossians chapter 3, verse 12. And I like how it says that we should clothe ourselves with patience. And it literally says patience in the version that I read. And I like that because the way we are, the way we act, we attract people towards us. We attract negative people or we attract positive people. And it all starts with the way that we clothe ourselves. Do we clothe ourselves with kindness? Do we clothe ourselves with patience? Because if we don't, we're going to attract those negative people or negative vibes. And it's just like, you don't want to attract those. You're not called to attract those. You weren't created to be surrounded with negative people. So I think what this verse really helps me to understand is the fact that we have to be the change that we want to see. We have to clothe ourselves first with kindness and patience to really see the difference that we're waiting on. Whether it's you really want to get married, you have to clothe yourself in patience and in kindness and ask God, okay, what do I need to clothe myself in so that I can be ready for that season, ready for that chapter in my life? What can I do to prepare myself for a new job opportunity, for financially be able to afford a new house, or just move my family from one state to another? Or maybe it's to start a ministry or move to a ministry. God, what is it that I need to clothe myself in? I need to clothe myself in humility, in kindness, love. All these things that we can ask God to really reveal ourselves. But the thing that I feel like we need to understand is that we need to clothe ourselves first, and then God can bring those things that we're waiting on. So that I feel like that's how it speaks to me. But if you feel like it speaks to you differently, then please let me know in the comments. The third verse that really helped me is 1 Corinthians chapter 15, verse 58. And it basically just says, your labor is not in vain. And it kind of ties in with don't get tired of doing what's good, because you will reap. There will be a time where you will see your harvest and you see all the good things. And I feel like 1 Corinthians chapter 15 verse 58 really just kind of gives you that verse, that push whenever you're right in the middle and you're just like, why am I even fasting, or why am I even praying for this anymore? I've been praying for it for years. It's not happening anymore. But 1 Corinthians chapter 15 verse 58 says, your labor is not in vain. Everything that you're doing is not in vain. God sees what you're doing. He sees you praying. He sees you fasting. It's just about being patient. It's just about waiting. And while you wait, enjoy your waiting season. Enjoy the time that you have with your family, with your friends. Enjoy your time at your job. It's all about just waiting and enjoying your time in the waiting season. The last one that we're going to be looking at is going to be Hebrews chapter 12 verses 1 through 2. So verses 1 and 2 on Hebrews chapter 12, and I want to read that with you. And it says here, therefore, since we also have such a large cloud of witnesses surrounding us, let us lay aside every weight and the sin that so easily ensures us. Let us run with endurance the race that lies before us, keeping our eyes on Jesus. And I just kind of want to stop there. It keeps going, but I want to stop there because I feel like that's where that's one of the main verses that really has helped me. If I'm in a waiting season like I am now, I'm currently waiting for a house. I figured it'd be ready by the 1st of January of 2021, but it's not. So I'm having to wait. And in that waiting period, I'm asking God, to help me with endurance. I don't want to grow weary. I don't want to get impatient and get angry and frustrated. Instead, I just want to be mindful of my thoughts. I want to be in peace and just know that God has everything in control. So I feel like Hebrews, that in chapter 12 verses 1 and 2, it says that we have to strip off of the things that weigh us down. We have to strip off the things that so easily get us, like frustration, anger, just things that make it hard for us to really focus on the time that we have in the waiting period or in the waiting season. And I say season because like the Bible promises, there will be a time where we get to see the harvest of our good deeds, like praying and fasting. We will get to see those things fulfilled, the things that we're waiting for. So I want to encourage you to just be patient in God. Keep doing the things that you're doing that pleases God. If you're praying about a certain situation, keep praying for it. If you're praying over a loved one, keep praying for them. Keep fasting. keep seeking God's word and seek good counsel from good people that have good examples, you know, in their lives and can really help you. And don't be afraid to reach out to anyone that you know and trust. I know that sometimes we get in this bubble of, you know, we don't want anybody to see us vulnerable or hear about our troubles, but sometimes I can't tell you how many times I've shared my the stuff that I was going through with my family, with my sisters or my friends, and they always have these words of encouragement, and it just helps to have people around you that will lift you up. So I encourage you to read your word, keep praying, keep asking God for endurance to go through the battles that you're facing, go through that to keep you keep giving you endurance for whatever it is that you're waiting for and being patient for. And I'm praying for you, and I hope that you guys found some type of advice in this video or helpful verses to kind of study in your own time. And that's about it. I mean, I will see you next time on Let's Talk About It. Bye.